Hello and welcome to our Igbo class. Remember, our mission for 2025 is to be able to speak Igbo language effortlessly. And for the past 3 classes, we have been dwelling on the alphabets because I told you that you cannot speak any language without knowing the constituting alphabets and how to pronounce them, how they sound, and even how to use them. Today, we're going further to knowing how to use these alphabets to write our numbers, and I will also be dwelling on their pronunciations, how they sound, bringing into play the sounds of each of those alphabets that we wrote out, the 36 alphabets of the Igbo language. And I will implore you to go back to the previous classes to check up on the Igbo alphabets so you can follow, so that it will be easy for you to follow. Welcome back once again. Let's dive right in. What we're doing today is onu, o, no, ogugu, onu, ogugu, go. Onuogugu means numbers. And remember that we had dwelt on these letters. We have in the Igbo alphabet O and O. This is O. Remember that O has a dot under. When you have a 0, not 0, O, and O with a dot under is pronounced O. Remember our N is pronounced Ni. We have a second N, that is N, that is N with a hyphen on top. This is pronounced Ni. You hear it in words like Anguli, Angulika, Angulika. No, I want to drink water. So let's not confuse you. Let's stay on the topic of the day. But I am very particular about your knowing the sounds involved so that it won't be difficult for you to pronounce. So remember also we said that U with a dot under is O. We have 2 U's in the Igbo alphabet. One is a normal U pronounced U. The second one is a U with a dot under, which I will call an abnormal U, pronounced O. So, and that is what we have here. So, if I ask you to pronounce these words, how will you call it? O, no, go. O, remember our G is pronounced G or G. But this time you're calling them together, O, go. Now, how do we spell it? In Igbo, you don't spell like English. In English, if I want to spell this, I'm going to be saying O-N-U-O-G-U-G-U. But in Igbo, we will say O-Ni-O, O-G-O-G-O. So we'll say onuogugu, O-Ni-O, O-G-O-G-O. If a teacher asks you to spell what is on the board, that is how we spell in Igbo language. So what we have today is onuogugu, which means numbers. But if I'm to interpret these things ordinarily as they appear, remember most words or phrases put together will not assume their individual meanings exactly any longer, especially considering the context, the situation where you are using it. So in this case, we want to talk about numbers. But if I'm to interpret these words individually, onu means mouth, your mouth that you talk with. Then ogugu means counting. So in that case, are we going to say mouth counting? No. It's language we're talking about. It's language we're talking about, and it's numbers particularly. Then in this case, we simply means what you count with your mouth is numbers. I'm just giving you a literal meaning, but contextual meaning, the exact meaning of this is numbers. Onuogugu means numbers. Now let's go into the numbers. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to make a ruler so that I can maximize my board. I don't have a lot of spaces and I don't want to quickly clean off what we are writing, so I'm making a line. So I'm going to partition the board into 3 so that we can maximize the board for today. So let's continue. What we have, 10. Let's also go to 11. We have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. When we get there, we continue with the numbers. Okay, let's start. I'm going to give these borders so that we know what we're doing. I'm teaching you in a very simple form as a layman. As a layman, as a beginner, as someone who does not know anything at all in the Igbo language. So I don't want to assume you know, because this lesson is going to be met by people who already know and those who are just beginning. So this is one we say O2. O2. Oh. I'm always fighting with this letter. O2. Are you noticing any difference? Say it O2. O2. Are you noticing any difference? Bringing yet back our alphabet. O is an O without O. Without a dot, sorry. O with dot is O. This is without dot. I want you to tell me what it is because you have studied the alphabet. O. Remember in our alphabet we said T is pronounced T. Then U without a dot is U. I just explained that when we started. So we have O2. Abo. Abo. So you have to take note of the sounds. I'm always fighting with this letter 0. Doesn't come to circles for me because when I'm writing really fast. Abo. Abo. Somebody's going to say, why is it that there is no dot on this one? I have explained it that this is the O sound and this is the U sound. They don't have dots on them. While this is the O sound and this is the O sound, they all have dots on that. So we have A, Bo. Remember that in our alphabets, when we were reading, we said A, B, Chi. Okay, this is where they all come into play. I told you the alphabets are very important for you to succeed in this class. A, Bo. Then we have 3 as A, To, A, To, A, No. 4, A, No. 5, I, Se. I, Se. 6, I, She. I, She. Some people will say I, She. Some people will say I, Si. But like I told you earlier also, I'm going to teach you from where you will not be confused. You have to know the basics before you start going into the different variations of Igbo accents. Is she or is she? Is she? Because we have she, we have she, we have this, we have she. So if I use my local dialect and I tell you is she, I'm going to be confusing you. So, but this is a different letter. So I'm not going to say is she, I'm going to say is she. Then we have a sa. A sa, most likely double a. A sa, it's like emphasis. A sa. We have a sa to. A sa to. We have itolu. Itolu. Some people will say itogolu. Itogolu. But let's stick to the central one. Itolu. Then we have iri. Iri is 10. Iri. Ise, iri. We have iri. Then This is where a little bit of work comes in. When we get here, we start doing, this is iri. In 11 is 10 and 1. So we say iri na otu. I'm going to juggle your mind a bit here. We have 11 as iri na otu. Iri is 10. Na is a conjunction joining two words. It simply means and. But we're not going to say 10 and 1, 10 and 2. We will not say 10 and 1. So we say iri na otu. Tell me what 12 will be. I want to juggle your mind a little bit more. So what will be 12? Iri na what? I know you got it. Iri na abo. Iri na abo. When I get to 20, I will allow you, see this abo, I will allow you to do the rest, but I'll give you the clue. So we have iri na. Start listing them for me now. Iri na ato. I'm not going to start with capital letter because it's no longer the beginning of the sentence. Iri na ato. 4 will be what? 14 will be what? Iri na. If 4 is ano, 14 will be what? Iri na ano. Iri na ano. If 15 is ise, sorry, if 5 is ise, what will be 15? I know you know the answer. Iri na ise. See, now I put I here because it's not the beginning of the sentence. Take note. So that you will not say there is no I here, but there is I here. It's just because I started the beginning of the sentence, this capital letter, we don't put dot on it. So in this case, I can go back to my small r. In this place, I can go back to my small r. Okay. So tell me 16. Iri na ishi. Ishi is stress. There's stress here. That's why we have double I. Ishi. You see. Then we have iri na asa. This is double here because of the stress there. We have iri na asato. Or itolu, we have iri na itolu. Itolu. We have oh my, this is where a lot of people will be confused and they will say iri na abo again. It won't be 20. So what we will say, iri abo, meaning 2 tenths. 2 of tens, that's 10, 10, making 20. So we will not say irina, we will not say 10 and 10, we will say 2 tenths, which is iri abo. So we have iri abo. Good. So should I give you an assignment? We're going to follow this pattern till we get to 100. So in this, should I clean this because I don't have enough space? I will need a little more space now. So I am tempted to clean off this. I hope you have written them down in your book. You cannot come here. This is an educational channel. You can't come just to watch, except you know what I'm talking about. But if you're a learner, I expect you to have an exercise book, a book dedicated to this. Because as we are doing, you have to be writing. You will always need to go back to them and get them to your consciousness. So I will need space here because I'm going into 21, 22. Let me maximize my space. 21. 22, 23. Let me see if this space will be enough. We have iri abo na otu. I don't want to just manage space. I need you to see what I am doing. So I will need my space. I will have to continue. Okay, let's go ahead. 21, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Let's continue. So we have iri abuo for 20. So now, what we are having now is iri abuo. 20 is iri abuo, 20 and 1. Just like we did in 10 and 1 as 11. Iri na otu, iri na abuo, 10 and 1, 10 and 2. Then in this case, 20 and 1, which is iri abuo na otu. So tell me, having given you the clue, what 22 is. 22 is going to be iri abuo na abuo. Notice this. I'm coming, please. Na abuo. Notice this, because there are write-ups where you will see that two A's cannot stay together. We would explain those principles when we start coming to the action words, the verbs. But in this case, these are two words in their own right as numbers. This one is an addition. This is the spelling of two. So in this case, we don't bother. There are places we don't allow this to occur. So we have, tell me what 23 is. Iri abuo. Sorry, don't mind me. Apply the O sound. Iri abuo na ato. Iri abuo na ato. Iri abuo na ato. Iri abuo. Tell me now. Na ano. Iri abuo na ise. Iri abuo na isii. Iri, I want you to tell me, abuo na asa. Tell me. Iri abuo na asato. Tell me. Iri abuo na itoolu. Wa. Here also we have to know that this is not iri ato na. Null. So what will here be now? From what I explained when we got to 20, it's going to be 3 tenths, meaning iri ato. Iri ato. By the way, I didn't tell you what 0 is called. 0 is called efu. Most times we don't bring it in, but 0 is called efu. Efu means null or none. 0 is called efu. 0 is called efu. So you will not come here and say ato na efu. It means 3 and 0. No. It is 3 tenths. 10 into 3 meaning iri ato. So let's go to 31. My body is on my camera. Move back. So using this principle, let me not bug you. So we have gotten to 30. I'm going to move on to 40. I'm going to move on to 50, 60, 70. Okay, let me start up. I will tell you what these ones are. So you apply the principle to get to 100 and go. So it's an assignment. I'm giving you a clue and I want you to finish it. Finish up the numbers. So we have 40. So in this case, we have 31 to 40. So I will write them. Apply the same principle that we did in 11 and 20 to here. But I'm now going to tell you what 40 is. 40 is iri ano. Remember, the number of tens is what you're going to write. And remember, 10 is iri. So we have iri ano. What will be 50? Tell me, what is 50 going to be? Iri ise. Iri ise. What is 60 going to be? Iri isi. 70. Iri asa. 80. Iri asato. 90. Iri itolu. Then we get to the almighty 100. What do you think it's going to be? It's not going to be iri. Some people will be tempted to do it like that, following the principle I talked about. They will think it is going to be iri. No, it is going to be a very unique name. 100 is called nari. Everybody say nari. Everybody say nari. 100 is called nari. 100 is nari. Before I go further from 100, I want to take you back to the numbers between 30 and 40 and 40 to 50, those numbers in between. From what I explained in the previous numbers, what should 31 be? We told you 30 is iriato. And in calling the numbers, it's going to be iriato na otu, iriato na abuo, like we did here. Iriato na ise, iriato na until, iriato na itolu before iri ano. Then the same thing applies with the numbers in between 40 and 50. It will now be iriano na otu, iriano na abuo, iriano na ato, until we get to iriano na itolu before we now say iri ise, which is 50. And then when we get to iri ise, the numbers between here 1 to 9, before we get to 60, you do the same thing. Iri ise na otu, iri ise na abuo, iri ise na ato, iri ise na ano, until we get to iri ise na itolu and we say iri isi. We continue. Iri isi na otu. It's an assignment I'm giving you. I'm giving you the clue, but I need you to write them out. When we have time, we'll come back to it. But to save our time, we're going to do what I am doing now. So, iri ise na abuo, iri ise na ato, until we get to I say iri ise. Iri isi na otu, iri isi na abuo, iri isi na ato, iri isi na, until we get to iri isi na itolu, we now say iri asa. Continue with me. Iri asa na otu, iri asa na abuo, iri asa na ato, until we get to iri asato. Iri asato na otu, iri asato na abuo, iri asato na ato, iri asato na ano, iri asato na ise, iri asato na ishi, until we get to iri asato na itolu, we now say iri itolu. Iri itolu. Iri itolu, 90. Iri itolu. So give me the expo here. Iri itolu na otu, iri itolu na abuo, iri itolu na ato, until we get to iri itolu na itolu before we say nari. And this nari, you can also see the variation, which is otu nari. Some people will go ahead and say otu nari. In this case, it will not be single a. Otu nari. This one is nari. We have otu nari. If we want to say 100, we say otu nari. Some people will say 100, 99, 100, which is iri itolu na itolu nari. If you want to say 100, you will say otu nari. otunari. But in most cases, it's not even necessary. But even if you do, there is no rule negating that, and there is no hard and fast rule. Just know that nari is 100. Even if you say otunari is also 100. With the numbers, this is where we will stop today, because we have to now start going into otunari na otu, 101. Otunari na until we reach nari abo. We will do that until we get to 1,000, which is called puku. But for today, we're going to stop here on the numbers. Thank you so much for being my student for today. And do make sure you do your homework or the assignments in trying to be able to write out the numbers from 0 to 100 on your own, applying everything that I have taught you today. In the next class, we will revisit it. But further, we will go into the parts of the body. Thank you so much and have a nice evening. Ciao.